Did you see the big Google announcement this week? It regarded ads and it has a lot to do with the future of Google, but you may have missed it, so today we're going to talk all about it. Hey guys, it's Pras Murthy at Doctor Multimedia, CFO and co-founder here. At Doctor Multimedia, we're a digital marketing agency for doctors. And today we wanted to take a look at some news that came out this week, straight from Google. I think most people might have missed. So before we get into it, if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, please take a moment to do so now. That way you'll get notifications when these videos come out. We're always monitoring the news. We're always thinking about new concepts to share with you guys. And the videos, the fully polished, edited versions come out all the time, not always the same as the live version, so you definitely want to catch those when you can. And subscribing to our YouTube channel is a great first step. Plus, you can see all the past topics that we've already covered. So let's get into what Google came out with this week. It happened a couple of days ago, and Google basically announced that they were going to start putting ads in what's called their Discovery feature on mobile devices, which in short, it's a version of Google search on your phones that's personalized news topics for you. Now, while that might not sound like it has very much to do with medical practices, the reason that's important is that this had been a completely ad-free portion of Google services. So, of course, it's personalized news, not exactly a place where you would expect or even want ads popping up when you're trying to scan for valid information and with the prevalence of fake news out there. But they made that announcement today. So anytime Google starts doing something that they've never done before, obviously we take note, and so does everyone else. All the SEO websites are writing about it. You can find dozens of articles in the last couple of days all about it. But so that community is all over this stuff. Our doctors and our office managers, not so much. But not only are they updating this one obscure, feature or adding an ad here or there, they also mentioned a lot of new ad types. So they're talking about gallery ads, and in your Google search now you might see ads as pictures. They're talking about how YouTube's going to experience more ads. And just generally that on your mobile device you're going to see more ads when you're using Google and Google's products, which remember, Google owns YouTube, as well as a bunch of other services that you may use. So even your Gmail inbox might start to see more ads. There are already some. You may or may not notice them at the top as sponsored entries under promotions and things like that. So we don't think it's a large leap to think that while Google, is a search engine where we go to find all kinds of information, whether people are paying or not, that it won't end up looking more like the Yellow Pages over time, which, if you remember what that is, was a book that you literally paid to be in. 20, 30 years ago, if you were a business but you weren't in the Yellow Pages, you weren't really a business. And by that I mean people weren't going to find you when they were looking up your competitors. And so it was that scenario where it's where people were, it's where people looked, and as a business owner, you basically had to pay to have placement in it. And then how much you wanted to pay, how big of a space you wanted, that was up to you, but everybody was in there. We want our clients to start thinking of Google in the same exact way, where yes, you can put up a website and it'll be on Google and people can find you, but as you start to see the amount of space on that Google page shrink and the amount of ads increase, it's not just a pay-for-play world anymore, it's now a pay-to-stay world. And by that I mean you pay to get your way to the top of Google if you're talking about ads, and now you need to keep paying to stay there. If you think about it from Google's perspective, they don't really make any money off of you being number 1 or number 5 or on page 7 or page 20. If you're on page 20, there's not a lot of opportunity for them to make money off of their organic search. But all of those companies, all of those businesses can pay to be featured at the top for short bursts of time. And as more and more businesses have caught on, those prices go up and it becomes harder and harder to show. Meaning now not only are you paying just to be there, you're paying to stay there. And so savvy, business owners and marketers have been increasing their budgets. They respond to these kind of trends and they know, okay, what you might used to be able to accomplish with $500 a month, now you might need $5,000 a month to make sure you're always showing at the top, day after day over the entire month. And that's just the future of search. It's the future of the internet. It's the future of how we all use our phones. The fact that that's where we go for information, that's where people want to be shown. So if you're a Doctor Multimedia client, I'm sure you've recently heard from us, explaining Google Ads, telling you why it's so important, why we think you should be dipping your toes in the water even for just a couple $100 to start to get in that mindset that this is a situation where if you want to show on the internet, there really is a price associated with it. Before we used to think that if you wanted to show on the internet, there was an amount of hard work that was associated with it, an amount of labor and time that you had to put in to get there. Now more and more, it's just that budget. And if Google's telling you that they're rolling out more ads, you want to take that signal as, okay, if there's going to be more ads, that means that there's more places to buy ads, which means obviously that's what they're going to be moving towards in terms of how businesses are seen. Every time they put an ad where someone's looking, that bumps down the places where you don't pay to be a part of it. We're used to paying really large amounts for traditional media. And the internet had always been kind of new media that was free and open. That's shifting, and it's shifting faster than ever as we move to our phones and the internet for all of our information, our news, our updates, our communication. And that's, as a business owner, what you want to catch on to and say, all right, I need to be moving the budget that I had from traditional media over online because that's what it's going to cost in the future to be visible. No, it won't be that long from now where we don't think people are even going to care where they rank organically or if they're number 1 on Google or number 5 or on page 2 because they'll get so much more of their traffic from the paid sources and getting in front of people in the moments that they want them. So, Doctor Multimedia clients, we've already been telling you this for a long time, but now it's kind of proof of concept that not only do you want to make sure you are running Google ads and possibly Facebook and Instagram ads as well, but that you're starting to dedicate real budgets to it and not just thinking of it as something you're doing on the side, but starting to get in the frame of mind of this is how I'm going to interact with Google. A little bit of a window into the future. These aren't changes that are going to take place tomorrow. They're going to roll out all throughout the year. But it's the mindset that we wanted to talk to you guys about because we're preparing our clients for it, and we're going to keep preparing them for it. And hopefully, as they've learned to trust us, they know that if we're talking about something now, in May of 2019, it's probably going to be mainstream by 2020 or 2021, and they want to stay ahead of their competitors. You want to start changing the way you think about paid advertising online. We wanted to start changing the way that you think about Google and what it means to be high on Google. You didn't used to be able to pay to be on the map pack. Now you can. Didn't used to be able to pay to be in people's news feeds. Now you can. So what does that mean for the future? And get in now while the prices are as low as they're ever going to be. Prices only go up over time when you're talking about paid ads. Get in now, get the experience, take advantage of what you can before it's just what everybody does, and position yourself to not just have the ads, but to treat advertising the way that you should. Because if you do that early enough, no matter who tries to catch up to you, you'll have the right mindset and you'll have it early, which means as new opportunities come along, you'll be open and receptive to those and you'll be first to take advantage of them. So, as always, guys, Pras Murthy here, Doctor Multimedia, CFO and co-founder, digital marketing agency for doctors. If you're watching and you're not a client and you have any questions, please visit us at drmultimedia.com, follow us on Facebook, like us on Instagram. Go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Always happy to share updates. We've been putting these out basically weekly, if not daily, in terms of little tidbits and trying to take online marketing topics and make it relevant to your industry. So, till next time, guys, thanks for watching.